Okay, this is practice problems 3. Problems 1 and 2 we'll do initially. Okay, which of the following projects would you accept? Okay, A, would you accept one with an IRR, internal rate of return, 11.6%? Remember, internal rate of return is the discount percent, the discount rate at which your future cash flows become zero. Anything a lower percent than that, they'll be positive. So if your discount rate was 11.5, that means that they would be positive because there's a less of a discount rate. 11.7, they would start to be negative because it's discounting those future cash flows more, which means they'd be worth less. Okay, so the IRR is 11.6%, which means your future cash flows equal zero at that point. The present value of your future cash flows, I should say. And required return of 11.5%. Well, if your required return is 11.5%, that means that 11.5% you would be positive on those future cash flows, discounted at 11.5, because 11.6% gets them zero. Anything less than that will keep them greater than zero. Okay, so you would take that one. Net present value of negative $3,091. Remember, net present value is the present value of all your future cash flows minus your initial investment. So if the present value of your future cash flows was $1,100 and your initial investment was $1,000, then your net present value would be $100. The present value of your future cash flows minus the initial investment. Okay, in this case, it's negative $3,091, which means the present value of your future cash flows is $3,000 less than your initial investment. $3,091, so you wouldn't do that investment. C, a project with a profitability index of 8.87. Profitability index is just the present value of your future cash flows over your initial investment. So this is a little bit different than that. This is subtracting one from the other. This is putting the present value of your future cash flows divided by your initial investment. So let's go back to the $1,100 example. If the present value of your future cash flows was $1,100 and your initial investment was $1,000, then it'd be $1,100 over $1,000, which is 1.1. Anything above 1 for a profitability index is good. Anything less than 1 is bad. In this case, you're at 0.87, which means that your future cash flows, the present value of your future cash flows is less than the initial investment when that's divided by the initial investment, which means again that you don't want to take it. All right? It's almost the same as net present value, except this is net present value of future cash flows minus initial investments. This is net present value of future cash flows divided by initial investment. Two different ratios get you the same result. Okay, this is a little bit more deceptive. Not many people use this one. Okay, a project with a payback period of 2.6 years and a required period of 2.5. Well, if you require your investments be repaid within 2.5 years and it takes you 2.6 years, you're not going to take that investment. So that's problem number 1. Problem number 2, you get to use the cash flow function again on your calculator. I like that function, it's very nice.